What is the market telling me this week? It's time for the news for your net worth. And this is the Nick Rutherford Report. So hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and share this with someone who would get a lot out of it. Let's get right to it. What are the news stories that I've been watching this week? So, the durable goods orders came in with the biggest year-on-year declines since the lockdowns. Now, this is interesting, but the market is telling me something that is completely different than the headlines. And the Fed's favorite inflation indicator printed hotter than what was expected. This caused a massive sell-off in various asset classes. And this is very interesting to me because what happens is you start to see articles like this. Oh no, hard crash! Construction jobs in Philadelphia set to plunge as residential projects hit a wall. And then, guess what happened later that week? Well, another bank failed. Well, here we go. We've had a bank failure. Is it time to freak out? What is the market telling me? Well, I'm operating under the thesis that bank failures really don't matter anymore, because if the Federal Reserve is going to go on into TV and say, well, we're just going to print money, which they did during the lockdown, and if the Fed or the Treasury or the government wants to hand out stimulus checks or make up money in the repo market, that then if it's a money problem, well, it can be just fixed by printing more and more money. So to me, there's nothing to worry about here, because if we have bank failures, yeah, we have bank failures, but the Fed will just make more money, or someone will make more money, and then they'll just paper it over. So to me, I just don't really worry about it, because all these headlines that I'm talking about, yeah, inflation could be hotter, construction could slow down, but at the end of the day, all I'm trying to do is invest in good companies, in good assets that I see have a trend of things improving instead of things getting bad. So would I be investing in construction right now? No. Would I be investing in AI right now? Yeah, I've been investing in AI for years, because my whole purpose is to look at a trend. And then I don't really need to worry about when things like articles like this come out and they say, oh, stagflation, GDP stuns with lowest print in 2 years. It came in below the estimate. Yeah, well, the GDP might be down, and that came out this week, so it's something that I'm watching. But what I want to do is watch the market's reaction over the long term, because here's what I'm really thinking about. What happens next, and what am I doing about this based on this? Well, here's the thing. Wall Street is always trying to get you to lose your money, and that's what's happening here. All of these news articles, everything that's happening over the short term is just the market designed to manipulate you out of your money. So you never want to do the wrong thing. You have to look through what the news is happening, what's going on, and look at what the market is really telling you. And that's why I always go back to my principle of invest in trends as early as possible and hold on as long as there's confirming signals. And one of the things that I've been doing is a long time ago, I mean like a few years, not yesterday, I was investing in gold and gold miners. And here's a confirming signal that came out this week. While the Chinese have grabbed gold by the throat as their capital flight accelerates. So apparently, or allegedly, whatever word you want to use, because all of this news I consider somewhat misinformation. But at the same time, I'm trying to look at it to just find the confirming signals of what the market is telling me. The market is telling me, based on the price, that gold's going up. And here's some other anecdotal evidence. Well, people are buying more gold. So that's a trend that's continuing. And that goes back to my principle of invest in trends and companies and assets that can take advantage of those trends. So here's another article that came out. Reality check. JP Morgan warns of the delay to the global energy transition. I misspoke there. Now, if you remember a few years ago, EVs were all the rage. gas is going away. We don't need oil anymore. During the lockdowns, oil went negative. All of the oil producing assets like Exxon, Chevron, all the smaller ones, they went down super. And at the time, people forgot that oil is everywhere. We need oil for our cars. We need oil for all of our plastics. Even if we got rid of all of our cars, we would still need oil for all of our plastics and all of the things that you just look around your room. Oil to make this camera that I'm looking at. Oil to make the electricity lines, like the rubber that goes around the transmission lines that are feeding this signal directly to you. Heck, you're going to need oil to produce those EVs. And that's why, back during the lockdown, I invested heavily in oil. Just because of this exact thing. Oil is on a trend. We need more oil. And it was clearly at the beginning of the trend because everyone said we don't need oil anymore. And this is not me saying go rush out and buy oil. All this is saying is that I'm using the market to tell me what to do. And right now the market is telling me to hold on because the news is telling you to freak out. But you remember, the news is designed to let the market take advantage of you. Instead, you want to take advantage of the market. Because when there are articles like this coming out, well, the hedge fund CIO says, what I see is the U.S. headed for 1970s style inflation. And oh God, it's a problem. No, it's not. You know what? Some companies will do bad. Some assets will do bad. Other assets will do good. Other companies will do good. And that's why I always go back to my principle of trying to find super investments that are on a trend that I can look at that are going to make more money. And one of those investments is AI. So this is another trend. Here, just to explain what I'm doing here, is every week I'm looking for a new opportunity. Or I'm looking for signals from the market that are telling me that what I'm already doing is either working or not. And one of the things I'm watching very closely is NVIDIA, because this is the leader in the AI trend. And for good right, they've been dramatically increasing their free cash flow. And you know what? Over the next 5-10 years, I think we're going to need a lot of compute. I'm not saying go rush out and buy NVIDIA here, because what you had wanted to do is identify the trend early, and don't worry, there are going to be lots more trends. But that's why you never want to get emotional and jump into the market. Now, the market was selling off heavily on all of the news that I talked about the other week. See, you can see that NVIDIA dropped really hard and everyone freaked out on the new inflation print. Well, guess what? It's going up now. So if it continues to go up, I'm not really going to worry. If it rolls over and starts to tell me that the trend is changing, then I'm going to start to worry. And in the meantime, I'm just measuring the economic data. And that's what's going on. Well, unemployment is still good. People are still spending money. So, you know what? I'm long my assets that I've identified over the last years that are participating in these trends, like NVIDIA, like Google, like the oil stocks. And my point here only is that don't get taken advantage of the market. Instead, you need to take advantage of the opportunities. I don't see any opportunities right now, but that's why you need to stay put, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and watch next week, because then maybe the market will give us an opportunity to sell or an opportunity to buy. I don't know yet, but right now, what the market is telling me is to keep doing what I'm doing, and that's being invested in great companies and holding on until I see a new opportunity or I see a reason to freak out. And right now, I'm not worried because the leaders are not rolling over, even though they looked like they were. Now they've reversed, and that was just Wall Street trying to scam you out of your money. That's what I think. And in the long run, if these trends are intact, we're going to make more money. So stick around until we see next time what the market will tell us. And when the market tells me something to do, we'll do it. How am I using this information to protect and grow my wealth? Go to highreturnlowrisk.com.